Hi guys, today we're looking at the partial quotient strategy. You can see at the top of the page there. It's a division strategy. So I just want to start by looking at a random division problem. Let's look at something like 639 divided by, let's divide it by 3. I've got a handy example right here next to me. 639 divided by 3. So in division, a quotient is just the answer of any division product. So like in multiplication, the answer is called the product. Like in addition, the answer is called the sum. In division, the answer is called the quotient or the quotient. Now, with 639 divided by 3, I bet there are a lot of people out there in our classroom that can easily do that off the top of their head. For me, not so easy. So I want to look at a strategy that's going to make it a lot simpler to do, and it just involves breaking it down. So it looks pretty similar to strategies we've done in the past. So the first thing I'm going to do is just separate it into my hundreds. Then I'm going to write in my tens, and then I'm going to write in my ones. And I'm going to put the number that I'm dividing by over here. In this instance, I'm dividing by 3. And then I'm going to do it step by step, working from the hundreds down to the ones, and just jot the answer in down the bottom. So 600 divided by 3 is going to be 200. 30 divided by 3 is 10. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. So then to come up with the answer to 639 divided by 3, I just simply add these 3 parts together to get me my answer of 213. That's pretty much as simple as the partial quotient strategy is. Sometimes though it gets a little bit more confusing because you can't easily break up your number. So I'm going to look at one like 546 divided by 6. So you can see in this instance, if I break it up into the hundreds, 500 divided by 6, off the top of my head, I don't think that's going to go evenly. And even if it does, I can't think of the answer straight away, so it's way too complicated. So in order to do this, you can still break it up, but you can look for shortcuts and look for things that are going to be easily divisible by 6. So straight away I can see my ones column is going to go super easily. 6 will be able to divide by 6 very simply. And if I look at what's left, I've got 5 in my hundreds, 4 in my tens, so I know that that number is 54 tens. 54 will divide into 6 very nicely. I'm thinking of my 9 times tables there. So I can set it out like this. 54 divided by 6 and 6 divided by 6. 54 divided by 6 is going to be 9 because 9 times 6 is 54. And 6 divided by 6 is going to be 1. And then you need to add them together. So the only thing you need to do is remember that this is 9 tens. So that number is 90. Add your 1, and you've got 91. 546 divided by 6, 91. And you can test it as well, remember, by doing a quick bit of multiplication. So if I do 91 times 6, 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 9 is 54, 546. Wonderful. As you're working through, please be super careful. It's not really hard, but if you don't know your division facts, if you don't know your multiplication facts, you will find it a little bit trickier. If you need a multiplication times tables when you're doing your stepping stones, feel free. In the stepping stones book, I'm just looking ahead. We're doing that for a fair few pages. It's just a different variation of the same strategy. So it does get a little bit harder, but the same basic rules apply. I just want to have a look at something like this. I'm looking ahead a couple of pages in the stepping stones book here. It's got a number like this. It moves into the thousands. So you've got 4,240. And a question might say, you know what? Break this number up into parts that are easily divisible by 4. So then you have to look ahead and go, whoa, hang on. How do I do this? Like, how am I going to make this work? And I can see straight away 4,000 is going to be easily divisible by 4. 200 is going to easily go into 4 as well. And then 40 is going to easily divide by 4. So you just got to look for those shortcuts. It does get a little bit harder, especially when we're working on like 6, 7, 9 times tables, but keep pushing through and just remember if you're having trouble, it's just all about breaking down the number into the hundreds, tens and ones. If that doesn't work, if it's not easy, you've got to look for those shortcuts so you can, do things like cross out the 0 and look to make it easier. Go straight to your thousands or your hundreds column and see how you go. That's the partial quotient strategy, gents. Good luck.